What is going on today, guys? We are here for our first episode in season 7 of the leaderboard event. Now, as you guys can see, I'll let you guys pause and read this on your own, but they're changing up a little bit of stuff, so only the gold that you wash yourself gets added to your total. The stuff that gets automatically washed does not get added anymore. So I'll let you guys pause that and read that exactly. But anyway, let's get started and head to the bank right away. Alright guys, we are here at the bank. So first thing is first is every time we come in here and we grab ourselves the max $1,200 loan, just like that, take it over 3 payments. We're going to grab that loan, and now we also lease the claim that we want to get. So it costs nothing for us to lease it. And then from there, we are on to the, I'll call it the equipment store. Uh, I gotta actually figure out which one's which because I call it the equipment store and then I call it the machine shop, and yeah. So anyway, we're on to this store, the small equipment store, and we got to get ourselves a few things here so we can get started in the hog pan area. Now, to start with, I always get the small diesel water pump, so we're gonna grab one of them, and we get ourselves the extension like that. Get ourselves the sluice core. Now we're going to get the hog pan pump, just like that. 4 mats. Whoops, 4, not 5. All right. So now next thing is we need our hoses for it. We need one big one, just like so, and we need one small one, like that. We are also going to need, start with 4 buckets, just like so. And we need a water filter, which is right here, just like that. So that should be everything. I believe I didn't forget anything. So as you guys can see, it costs about $800 to get my starting setup. So I'm gonna get this all loaded up, and yeah, don't show me any more of them. I'm gonna get all this stuff loaded up, and I'll meet you guys out at the Old Arnold claim. All right, guys, here we are. We are out on the Old Arnold claim now. So we need to get behind our truck here, just like that. I did forget to grab the jerry can. I did realize that as I was leaving though, so it's no big deal. I managed to grab it right away before I even left the place, so no big deal there. Um, Glad I remembered it because that would have kind of sucked, but uh, it would have been just like me to forget something like that. So I honestly wouldn't have thought any different. Uh, I'm really good at forgetting stuff. But anyway, the reason I get 4 buckets is it takes about 4 buckets roughly uh, to end up with all the nuggets out of this first area. That's about when you stop getting the nuggets. I think it's roughly 3.5 bucketfuls. So we're gonna get that all run until we stop getting nuggets, basically. So once the nuggets like slow down to where they are no more, then I'm just going to stop. Doesn't matter how far in we are. Doesn't matter if we're like middle of the clean out or whatever. Once we hit that end spot where the nuggets just stop, then I'm just gonna leave the hog pan however it is, and we're going to move on to the next part of it. Now, I'm going to be skipping a lot of this first spot. I'm going to skip basically all the digging on it, with the exception of maybe say like the end couple scoops, um, and also, uh, I'll show you guys washing the mats so we can talk about the amount of nuggets we get. But other than that, I'm basically going to be skipping through a lot of it so we can get right on to the next part of it. I'm going to try to condense down my videos for the day, um, so we're not having like 5 videos for one day, kind of thing. It's basically I'm gonna try to get only 2 videos out today, so it's gonna be you know, the first couple steps of it. But anyway, I gotta shut up now. Let's fire this bad boy up, grab out our shovel, and I'll take you guys through the first, where we get our first big nugget here, which is only a couple scoops in. And then from there, like I said, I'll skip, and you guys will see the end results of each clean out and how much we get for the nuggets in it. But anyway, we should be getting our big nugget here right shortly. Cat, leave me alone. Cats like to just come up and just like, there it is. Alright, so we keep this, and as you can see, that starts our nuggets for the digging here. So anyway, guys, I'll be back to you guys as soon as I'm done digging out this first clean out's worth. Alright guys, so that is the first one done now. So as you can see, we have only gotten 11.1 ounces. So I know I say only, 11.1 ounces is still a decent amount of nuggets to get. So none of them were anything special. I mean, the biggest one I got was 105. So nothing is even of any remote size yet. But like I said, 11 is an okay start. It's not what we would have absolutely wished for. But anyway, that's one done. So I will see you guys back for number 2. Alright guys, dig number 2 is all done. So that makes 13.1 ounces for this one. Now, our biggest one was 1.76 this time. So they are getting bigger, and they are coming a little bit less often now. So they will start to slow down here quite a bit this next clean out, but they will be of a decent size. So it kind of makes up for how often they come. So basically now we'll get like 5 or 6 nuggets this next clean out, and that's going to be about it. Then after this, it's only going to be a little bit left in the next clean out, and then we're going to be done in this area. So I'll be back to you guys for the end of the next one. Alright guys, that is going to do it in the hog pan area. We have not had a nugget in quite a while. So unfortunately that's only about 6 ounces for us from this clean out. Now it's time to head into the blacksmith. I'm going to smelt down a small bar so we have a little bit of cash to smelt down the rest. And then I'll be back to you guys when we hit the bank. Alright guys, so it's time to hit the bank. I smelted down 1 bar that was about 6 ounces. So we sold that off. Gold is at a very nice price right now. It's at 12 1/4 per ounce. 12.26 rather. So it's very good money right now. Now, instead of going straight on to the tier 2, what we're going to do instead is we are going to grab the drill, rent it for the rest of the day, and drill out the claim so we can find where the better gold is. I want to make sure we're on the best of the best right away. We're not going to, I don't want to spend time messing around with the subpar gold for here. So we're just going to come over here and we are going to rent this thing for the day. It's pretty cheap, about 3 grand. So it's well worth, whoops. Wrong one. I thought I'd come to this one. There we go. So yes, I already know. Now we come over here. This is the transport one. Send it on over. And it costs $1,500 to move a machine like that. So that'll be out on the claim for us. We're going to head back out there, and the rest of this episode is going to be all about the drilling. So we're going to drill. Like I said, we're going to try to find where the better gold is. And once we find that out, we're going to go on to the tier 2 setup for just a short while. I do not plan on staying on the tier 2 for very long. I plan on doing 10 to 15 buckets worth out of that at the most, and then we're going to rent a full tier 3 setup. So now the drilling's gonna take quite a while to get done, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit on camera, and then I'm going to do the majority of it off camera, and then I'll be back to show you guys the results. Once that is done, I'm going to immediately get this video going to get it up so you guys can see it right away. The event is still very, very young. It's, you know, we're maybe an hour into the event by now. So it hasn't been out for very long, and I want to make sure you guys know that the event is live. So I want to try to get this video posted up as soon as possible for you. So here is our drill. Now, the one problem with the drill is I forgot the gas tank, the mobile fuel trailer. So we're gonna give him a little drink with the jerry can instead for now. I'll have to run back into town and get that fuel trailer. I knew I forgot something. I knew I forgot something. It is just like me to forget something like that too. But this will be enough to get us started on the drilling. Quit showing me that. I don't care. But like I said, I'll have to go back in and get the mobile fuel trailer, get it fueled up, and bring it back out here to fuel this sucker up, because this is not going to last us for too very long. I don't think I'm going to drill out the whole claim. I mean, I probably should, but I don't think I'm going to. We're just going to do like I normally do, and we're going to spot check. You know, go like basically every other tile. So starting 3 tiles in either way, like right here. And we're going to get this whole sucker drilled out, every other one. Once we find like a hot spot, we're going to drill around it right away. So we're going to check immediately after every one. And so this is pretty decent gold. 200 ounces is not bad. I don't know exactly what you'd consider a perfect tile here, because I really never really drilled out this claim, to be honest, to figure out what was like what you consider a perfect tile. I'd assume it's somewhere around maybe 350 ounces would be like your max, I'll call it. So let's check this one right away here. So okay, 340, that's not a bad tile. So I want to mine the one behind us as well, so we can see exactly what we're looking at here. Because again, we're not gonna we want to make sure we're not going to be running into any subpar tiles. So anything that's like really crappy, we don't want to waste our time with. We want to make sure that we're on some decent gold. Like as you can see, 200 goes right to 300, and then it starts moving up. So you know, we'll probably end up skipping the 200 ounce tile and go straight into the better ones. Now, I do want to save the better tiles for once we have our tier 3 out here. I do not want to waste them on the tier 2. So I'm not going to mine like the best tiles. So in fact, we might end up just mining that 200 ouncer with our tier 2 setup, so we can save the better stuff for later. But again, here you go. You got a really nice tile again, the next one up. So we're just going to keep drilling this area out and see what we can find. Hopefully they stay pretty decent, and it's looking about the same as it was the last season as well. So I know we had quite a bit of good gold up front here, and the best of the gold was about middle of the tile, like it's looking now. So all in all, it's not going to be too bad. We'll probably just pick a spot and just mine a line, more or less. We're gonna drill out this one, and then I'm gonna cut across to the next row here, and we don't have to drill the whole claim because we're not gonna get through even half of this claim before we're off this claim and onto bigger and better things. So check this one out, and this is where it starts to die off. So we're going to skip 164 and go right to 165. Now this is exactly why I'm checking every time I drill a tile, because we don't want to waste our time drilling the crappy tiles if we know where it already changes over. So get right onto 165 here and go right down the line and see what we got. Now eventually we may end up bringing the drill back out on this claim, depending on how the mining goes. If you don't end up with mechanics, it's really hard going with repairs early game, and it's basically luck of the draw. I do have something in mind that I want to do, but I'll show you guys. That's probably going to be maybe a next video thing, or even third video. So, but anyway, as you can see here, these tiles are pretty decent. They're not the 300 ounces, but they're still good enough to mine. They're not 200 or less, so it can always be worse, that's for sure. But we want to, like I said, we want to make sure we are getting good tiles and not getting bad gold. So, whoops, let it bottom all the way out. I'm really bad at that, pulling it up before it's done. So again, pretty nice strip of gold about midway down. And another thing we could do is we don't even have to go all the way to the bottom when we're mining. That bottom bit of gold that's not quite as good, we can just leave there and move on to the next tile. Now, I know there's going to be a little bit of like, how do I call it? I'll call it so-so gold on top. We are gonna end up mining that off. So like the stuff like, that's half an ounce worth. We will mine that, but basically what we're after is the section that is in gold there, which is only roughly, I'll call it roughly double what the top half is. So it's nothing like we were seeing in the off season or towards the end of the leaderboard event once we moved claims. But like I said, it's enough to get us going. It's enough to pump out some decent numbers, and hopefully get us going up the leaderboard. Now, like I said, the event is very, very early yet, so not a lot of people have even put up numbers, as you can see here. So our first numbers will come from our tier 2 cleanout. I never bother wasting my time mining with the little gold pan thing in the tent. It's honestly a waste of time, because you're lucky if you get 1.5 ounces of gold per cleanout from the hog pan over there. So for me personally, that is the biggest waste of time. I will never ever waste my time doing that. Once we get like the wave table, okay, so now the gold's kind of died off here. We're gonna go every other tile, but once we get like the wave table and the magnetite separator, well, even just the wave table, I'm just gonna chuck them buckets straight into the wave table and let them go, because they're nothing special. The 3 of them will be lucky to equal a bucket we get out of the tier 2. So, like I said, in my opinion, it is a huge waste of time. Not worth it. Not worth it. So neither is the gold in this strip of tiles so far. Now, I thought we hit some more nice gold over on the other side there, a little bit further over. So we're gonna have to check that, because it should be basically the same setup every time, roughly. Now it does vary a bit, so I do say roughly. Okay, here we go. This is a very nice tile right here. 326 ounces. This is what we're looking for. So we got to back up, drill 139, and drill around this sucker to see where the good gold moves off. So 139 is good. Okay, so now we're going to go 164, 163, 162. And find out where this strip moves off to. Get this sucker turned. It is slow as a sloth. There we go. Turn it again. Now, as you can see, some of the ground is kind of frozen. And it's fine to drill it, but you can't dig it. or at least I've never had the luck of being able to drill or to dig through frozen ground personally. 164 is garbage, so we're going to skip 163 and go right to 162. And just to make sure that it's not going to be another bogus line or continue with how it was over there. Anyway. And there we go. Rock bottom with it. Alright, so 162 is good. We will check 163 then. Because if 162 is bad, 163 should not be good either. But, again, with not wanting to, wanting to make sure that we're only spending as much time as we can hitting the better tiles. So we're not wasting our fuel, wasting our time, drilling through crap tiles. If we know they're going to be bad, we skip it. But so far we're finding some decent stuff, and it also shows us just, you know, how much different it can be, you know, going from, you know, where was it? 318, 340 to about 200 or even less, and then jumping back to some really nice stuff here. So 163 is an okay tile, is not great, but it is doable in a pinch. So we are going to hit 137 and 136 now, or 137 for sure, and then check it again. Because like I said, I always make sure I check them every time. Don't want to, you know, drill into crap tiles, and because basically it's about being as efficient as possible, getting to the better gold right away in the beginning. The quicker we start turning out some better numbers, the quicker we'll get off this claim and move on to bigger and better things. So now we have learned quite a lot in the last season as well. Ooh, now that is a very juicy looking tile for this claim anyway. We have learned a lot of things, so I am going to be putting some of them into play this season and seeing how that turns out. Now I know we're not going to be going at it nearly as hard as we did last season for obvious reasons. I still have my other games to make videos for now, so with that in mind, wow, that's another great tile. So we'll have to do 161 here as well. I always wondered why there was this gigantic lump on this tile. Looks like somebody took an ice cream scooper to there and just plopped it down right there like a giant ice cream scoop. We're starting to run low on fuel, and I do not want to drill past midnight because I want to be cheap. I only want to pay for the 1 day's rent on this thing. Again, really nice gold. Kind of like this. But I only want to pay for the 1 day's rent for now. If we do need to drill more later on, we can always get the drill back out later. But I do not want to pay an extra $3,000 and only, you know, and not need the tiles we're drilling out. So we're only going to be drilling out like this half over. I'm not going to worry about that side. Now again, we could be missing out on good tiles over there, but the thing is, like I said, it's about being efficient. It's about getting to the gold, getting on it right away, and just continuing to smash out the numbers. So regardless whether we miss out on, say there's some 500 ounce tiles over there, we're still going to find decent enough stuff in what we got. So, okay, that tile started to slink off, but how deep is it in comparison? 7.2 versus 10. So it's still a mineable tile for sure. Definitely. Let's check this one now as well. 135, not going to happen. We are going to move up to 111 and skip 110. Well, we could hit 110. Just to show you guys here. Now, The problem with these tiles along here, like this whole strip that I'm on, or this whole column, is they go from being really shallow on the left side and they drop off pretty heavily down. So um, they're uh, kind of a tile that can really vary in what it should actually have in it. Like I said, it's really shallow on the one side, really deep on the other. So if you drill it in the wrong spot, you get the wrong results. Uh, so as you can see, it is 10.2 meters deep where we drilled it there. But if we drilled it on this close side here, we'd probably find like 3, give or take. Um, so 111, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So we're gonna mine this strip up to 114 now before we check again, because all these should be decent. God, I hate how much these things lose power. Come on. Seriously. Freaking drive it. Put the foot in it. I really hope they do listen to the community about how these machines are and actually fix them. Give them a little more power. I mean, shit, that's all they gotta do is give them a little more power so when they're on a slight little hill like that, they can actually drive. Um, and so they thought also, uh, if my tongue would function, also so they actually can drive over a little bit of stuff without getting hung up. Because you guys have seen how bad it is that the equipment actually gets hung up. It's horrible. It's horrible when you can get hung up on a little, like a 6-inch lip of dirt. You can get like any of the machines hung up on them. It's like, how does that even work? If that actually happened in real life, you'd shoot the machine and drag it to the scrapyard. I'm not kidding either. Nobody would use them if they got hung up on something like that. If you could only drive half a kilometer per hour up that little mini grade there, you wouldn't use it either. But anyway, enough about that. This stuff does look pretty nice. I think we are going to skip 115 because it's going to turn to that color there as well. And we're going to go 89 to 86 now, and that's gonna that should give us plenty of tiles to mine out for now. So what we'll do is, after we're done with this, we're going to go and get ourselves the tier 2 setup. But one bit of a difference. I am going to skip the small excavator, and we are going to just rent the big excavator. And the reason for this being, I don't see a point in using the small one, to be perfectly honest. I don't see a point in having it. If you could just skip it and you can rent to the big one, you might as well go for it, because that big excavator is going to do you so much better than the small one. It's gonna save you time and filling your mobile wash plant or mobile wash plants if you're gonna use a double setup. Now I'm only gonna use a single setup because of the fact that we won't be on it long at all. I plan on only doing, like I said, 10 or 15 buckets through it, and that is it. So it's not going to take us long to get that done. Not going to be long at all. I figure, well, actually I don't honestly remember how long it takes to fill a bucket with the mobile wash plant anymore. It's been forever since we used it. Last time we used it was the beginning of last season's event, so I don't even remember how long it takes me to fill one. I was going to try to give an estimate of how long we'd actually have the tier 2 setup. Now we actually could skip tier 2 and go straight to tier 3. I don't think we'd have any problem doing that. The problem is, I like to make sure we have a little bit of safety net fund-wise. So, oh yeah, this is all good stuff here. All good stuff there. Let's actually do the next strip. we might as well. If the gold is still good, I thought it was going to trail off by there, so. Yeah, we might as well. Let's see if it trails off on this lane. No, it don't. Huh. That is interesting. Very interesting. I might have been wrong. We might have been able to go over one more tile yet, so. Now, one thing to note, or fair warning rather. The first little bit, we are not going to have good light set up. So there might be times where it's going to be a little bit dark. I will try to make sure that as much as possible that we will run our cleanups during light hours. Because again, I'm not going to be able to set up a whole lot of lighting to begin with. Because we're going to want to save like as much of our funding as we can for replacement parts. Replacement parts are going to be an absolute pain in the ass to start with, especially without a mechanic. Until we get a mechanic and get on to reinforced parts, it is a big pain in the balls to start with. It really is. Because, but one thing we have learned is instead of going to the electric water pump, go to the diesel water pump. Hands down, the diesel water pump like breaks down way less, incredibly less often than the electric water pump. So the electric water pump, we were replacing the coil on it every day almost. So it's not worth it. The electric one is absolutely, hands down, not ever worth bothering with, to be honest. Yeah, let's check this out, see if I was right, and this is where it dies off, or am I wrong? Yep, okay, so I was right. I do want to do a couple every other ones up here and see if there is some decent gold up front. 'Cause if I remember right, there should be a little pocket of it up here. Now, I know this video is probably going to go slightly long, so I'll apologize for that right away. But this will be our first video. Our second video is going to be the tier 2 cleanup. So it's probably going to involve first what we're going to do is we'll probably end up having to go into town with it and sell off our nuggets, and then we'll end up having to come out and run the tier 2 cleanout with the wavetable and magnetite separator we buy with the money from our nuggets. So that's what I predict is gonna go. Okay, 67 is actually relatively decent. I'm kind of shocked. I didn't think it was over there. I thought it was in this middle area here, but now I do have a question. Is there any way I'm assuming there's not. I looked a little bit, but I wish there was a way to determine what notifications come up. I don't want to see these notifications of, oh, you released your handbrake too early or something like that. But I would like to fine tune them so, especially later on, when we're running our tier 3 cleanouts, I like to see the notifications when stuff gets full, so I know when to change it. Obviously, it gets auto swapped by our workers, so that's not an issue there. But I like to know when I have to go and swap everything out, because you only get one bucket on the duplex jigs for it to swap out, so it'd be nice if they put in a second bucket slot there. I kind of want to hit 66 now. I'm not going to bother with this next strip up because it's really shallow and it's not a fun one to mine because of it comes as a ledge. It goes off pretty shallow and then just drops off basically, almost on like a sheer wall, but it's got a little bit of a grade to it. I'll say. Now this is probably going to be, depending on how big this stretch is right here. This will probably be what we mine with the tier 2. This little stretch right here. I am going to hit 93 here because I'm hoping it widens out into a too wide strip. And I know this video is going to go a little bit long because of all the drilling, but we don't have to go get the fuel trailer. So there's going to be plenty of fuel with what's in it and what we threw in for the jerry can, which I don't think we even had to worry about throwing the jerry can fuel in it, to be honest. But you know, even at 262, that isn't too bad. But those are a lot nicer. Those are lots nicer. These are going to start to become like I said, with the look kind of like the drop off from the shallow ledge. So mining these is going to be slightly problematic if this continues up with being the good gold. Oh, this is only a little bit on top. That's actually odd. Very odd. Yeah, the fuel is low. I plan on running this sucker empty and then sending it back. Alright, let's turn and back up into this tile here. This should widen out. I don't understand why it's not widening out into the second tile. Still isn't. I mean, it's got decent gold on top, but yeah, I don't know. I honestly would have expected it to widen out. So we're gonna do 70, and then that's gonna be it. 71 is not worth our time to mine. It's very, very shallow tile, lacking of dirt on either side of it. So unless if 70's got decent gold, we will mine that, but I wouldn't bother with 71 or any of the edge tiles, basically, like that. So let's check this out. 70 is still decent, so we'll probably just strip the top half off and leave the bottom crap there. Now, before we end this video, we do have one other thing to do, and that is we're going to rent the excavator, buy the mobile wash plant and all the pieces we need for it. We're also going to need the mobile fuel trailer as well. So I'm going to take you guys in to buy that up, and that's going to do it for this video. Again, this video is a bit long, so I apologize for that, but there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to condense down so we're not, you know, putting out four or five episodes in one day because of everything we're doing. So I'm trying to condense it down so it's not going to be nearly as bad that way. Now, we might end up having to take a loan to get all our stuff, but we will see. So get on out of this thing, and we're going to send it back. So again, we only paid for the 1 day's rent, just like that. Now, I will meet you guys in town to get everything we need for our tier 2. Alright guys, we are here at the small equipment shop here. Now, I know we're going to end up having to take a loan, but I want to see how much everything is going to cost, and just take note of that before we end up getting it. So, we need them two things. Filling up that trailer is going to be very expensive, but we are going to need a full trailer to get through the dig with the excavator. So we are going to need about 3 of these and two of the connectors. And I believe this thing runs on a small hose but a big power. So we do have the small hose on our hog pan already, so we don't have to worry about that. But we are going to need one of these, and we are going to need this generator. So with that in mind, we also need buckets are cheap. Let's just get 10 right away, and we are going to need another jerry can. So that, I believe, is everything for now. I'm not going to worry about getting any of the wavetable magnetite separator or any of the stuff for that yet. That's something, and I will mine in the dark. I don't mind mining in the dark. But oh, actually, that's only a 10 grand. I think that's actually doable. Um, what we're going to do first, though, is I'm not going to worry about hooking up to the mobile wash plant, and we're also not going to rent the excavator on camera. I'm waiting till after midnight to rent it, so we do not have to pay for a day's rent where we don't use it. Um, Now, this is a big thing to note. If you guys are going to rent a piece of equipment and it's almost midnight, just wait. That couple in-game hours that you're going to lose is not a big deal compared to paying out, up to, depending on what you're renting, our big excavator will probably run us, let's say, 4 grand for daily rent. I'm not 100% sure. We'll check it out quick. Um, After I get this sucker fueled up, because I want to see how much money this is actually going to take. Like I said, I think we are going to need to grab a small loan. We're going to have to pay off our one loan and then just take a small loan. But I want to see how much this thing costs to fuel up, because I honestly don't remember. Okay, never mind. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. I must have been thinking of fueling up the big tank. Whoops. Helps to turn the damn thing on. So yeah, let's go check out the price here, so I'll show you guys exactly what we're going to pay for it. And like I said, I'm not going to rent it till after the day resets. So, but I do want to show you guys how much it costs so you guys know. So anyway, right down the dusty trail here. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up taking this fuel trailer out to the claim, coming back in, and just waiting in town after we, after we get everything loaded up until the day resets. So anyway, big excavator is right here. And it costs, wow, it's only $2,500 a day. Wow, I'm way off on prices. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this first episode, and, there's going to be a lot more to come. So comment down below, what are your thoughts so far, and how are you guys doing if you guys are playing? Let me know in the comment section as well. So, again, thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll catch you guys right away for the next episode.